Hello my friends, in this video I'm gonna tell you how I would learn the cloud if I had to start all over again. I love cloud. For many years I have been learning, I still am. But like many of us, I have made some mistakes along the way. I am a senior cloud engineer. I have about 16 years of experience working in IT and around 7 years of experience working with cloud technologies. I have several cloud certifications of different levels. Every single day, together with my colleagues, we create new architecture. We build new things. We deploy infrastructure. We troubleshoot. We create infrastructure with the code. We build and maintain cloud. I am quite happy where I am. But if I had to start all over again, I would do some things differently. Man, I wish this video existed when I started in IT. The only problem is, YouTube didn't exist when I started in IT. Yes, I am that old.
Hey everybody, an old man's talking.
So if you are still interested how I would learn the cloud if I had to start all over again, then I'm gonna give a call to a good old friend of mine. What's up, Doc? I would really like to borrow your car. Literally, for a second. Are you ready? Yeah! Then let's get going. Oops, wrong video. Meow meow meow, meow meow meow, meow 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 meow. Listen to me carefully, boy. I am you from the future, and I have come to tell you that your destiny is to become John Connor? Much better, a cloud engineer. And the first advice that I would give myself and to all of you is start today.
Today.
Seriously, you should. I understand that the cloud is huge now. There are many thousands of cloud engineers out there, and hundreds of people start their cloud journey every single day. You might think the job market is overloaded and it is too late to start, but it's not. I understand that the best time to start learning the cloud was in 2007, but the second best time is today.
Today.
So if you have been waiting for a special sign from the universe, this video is such a sign. So watch it, give it a like, subscribe, and start your cloud journey today. But how exactly should you start your journey in the cloud?
I have absolutely no idea.
First, you should start with essential elements of general IT, which are networking, virtualization, server administration, and databases. Many years ago, in the IT department of a company, there were several teams. There was network team. There were systems administrators, storage administrators, backup administrators, virtualization administrators, database administrators, and many more. Today, in cloud infrastructure, all of these roles are combined into chosen one.
He is the one.
Which, ladies and gentlemen, is cloud engineer. Me and you.
What?
So we, cloud engineers, have to be very well in these IT essentials. The good news is that we don't have to be experts, but we have to be comfortable with all of them. Let's start with networking. Networking is one of the most important areas in the cloud. You can hardly provision any resource in the cloud without configuring the network first. And hey, imagine what would be your own device that you're using now to watch this video if that wouldn't be connected to a network. It would be worthless piece of
Worthless piece of
So start your cloud journey by learning networking first. My mistake during my career was that in order to learn networking, I spent a lot of time learning Cisco's CCNA course and obtaining certificate. Today it is quite enough to watch some videos on YouTube, because you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to configure Cisco switches, but you need to know how networks are structured. You need to know what is IP, what is subnetting and how it is done, what is the difference between private networks and public networks? What are route tables and how routing is done? What are network access lists? What are ports? And what are firewalls? So make sure you learn network good enough. And then continue to virtualization. The whole essence of cloud is built on virtualization, which is when many companies share hardware resources in order to divide them into smaller, isolated virtual machines. And I bet that the first ever cloud resource that you will create, after networking of course, will be a virtual machine. Now again, you don't have to be an expert. I used to work with VMware a lot. You don't have to do that. Some time well spent on YouTube will be quite enough. So watch some videos on virtualization topics. A couple of videos, what is cloud and why it exists. That will be quite enough. If you want to go a bit further, watch some videos about containers. This is a bit deeper step into virtualization. but I guarantee you will have to work with it. So maybe watching a couple of videos about containers would be quite useful. Maybe you have heard word Docker in your life several times.
No.
An even fancier word, Kubernetes! But all this is a smaller, lightweight, isolated virtual machine inside a virtual machine. So it's not that difficult at all. At least if we are talking about understanding the concepts. So please watch some videos about containers, because I guarantee you, you will have to work with it. And the next essential IT topic is server administration. Websites you are visiting every day, applications that you are using are hosted on servers. Physical, virtual, containers, it doesn't matter. What matters is the operating system of these servers. On laptops we have Windows or Mac OS. We have iOS and Android on smartphones. But to administer servers, we need to be comfortable with server operating system. And the most widely used server operating system, which is used by Amazon, Google, Twitter, Tesla, Netflix, you name it, is Linux. So if you want to feel comfortable in the cloud, you have to learn Linux. Because most probably, virtual machines and containers that you will administer will run on Linux. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to compile Linux kernel, but you have to understand how to work with Linux, how to work in its terminal, and you have to be comfortable with basic Linux commands. Commands like ls, cd, pwd, cp, mv, rm, cat, ps, top, chmod, chown, sudo, grep, tar, rm-rf star, and many more. So watch some videos on Linux. Maybe it's a good idea to take a basic video course. There are plenty of resources out there. Spin up a VirtualBox on your laptop. Virtualization? Install Linux there. Or use a Linux virtual machine in the cloud and practice those commands. Create a user. Use sudo to elevate privileges. Create a directory. Navigate some levels up, some levels down. Create a file. Cat the contents of the file.
Yes, I know, cat.
Use grep to find a string in the file. Remove the file. Play with Linux. Get comfortable with it. And move on to the next topic, which is databases. Every application has to store its data somewhere, and usually it stores it in a database. So understanding database is very important for a cloud engineer. But my mistake was that I totally ignored even database essentials for quite a long time. Don't repeat my mistake.
I won't.
Yes, you will. Learn the concepts of databases. Understand how databases and servers are connected. How data is transferred from backend server to a database. How networking and security is configured. What is a backup? What is a restore? What is a relational database? And what is a NoSQL database? How to use basic SQL to query and modify database. These kinds of things. And you will be well prepared to start your cloud journey. And you started by choosing a cloud provider. In my case, my job chose for me. When I was working as a Linux technical engineer in the company, our team had a customer who had its infrastructure in AWS Cloud. So it was an easy choice for me. If you have a similar situation and your company has some kind of cloud, choose that one. It will be much easier for you to learn it if it is already used in the company you work. If this is not the case and you have to choose on your own, then I suggest try all of them a bit. Identify the one you like the most and pick that one, because you will have to work with it quite a lot. And it is way better if you enjoy it. Make your choice wisely.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
But don't spend very much time on making this choice. There is no cloud which is the best. They all are about the same. And if you focus on a specific cloud provider and learn it well, it will be very easy for you to learn another later on. If you don't have preference at all, then go with Amazon Web Services. I worked with it for 7 years and I still love it. Amazon Web Services is the most widely used cloud provider in the world. Almost 1/3 of all companies in the world choose AWS. So go for it and you won't be disappointed. So you have chosen your cloud provider. Hopefully AWS. How should you learn it? Cloud providers have hundreds of different services. If we are talking about AWS, then they have EC2 service for virtual machines, VPC for networking, RDS for databases, S3 for storage, Route 53 for DNS, ECS for containers, CloudWatch for logging and monitoring, and many more. Hat can go merry-go-round.
Oops.
So what I did and what I suggest you do early on is take an online video course for Associate Certification. If we are talking AWS, then it is AWS Certified Architect Associate. The video course is a very good way of learning for a beginner. It is structured in a very good way. You will learn all the services you will need for the certification and for the work. You will learn it fast in a very structured way. It is way better than tinkering around on your own. If you want to know how to choose the right course and how to go through it, I have a really good video about it. Link in the description. Many people suggest that you should start with the most basic course. For AWS, it is a cloud practitioner. I would argue with that. If you have done your homework well and learned the IT essentials good, then you can go directly to Architect Associate course, because it covers cloud fundamentals as well, and you can spend time and money if you skip the cloud practitioner.
Maybe you wanted to say save time and money.
Yes, I misspoke. So in 30 years, when you record this video, say the word correctly. But of course it is a matter of choice. If you really want to start with the basics, do it. I personally started with Architect Associate, and to be honest, I don't know anyone who works with the cloud who has a cloud practitioner certification. Let me know what you think. What was your first cloud certification? Was it cloud practitioner or was it associate? Write in the comments below. I am really interested in it. One thing that I could have done better while going through the course, and what I really suggest you do, is practice, practice, and practice.
Practice.
My mistake was when going through the course, when teacher showed something in the console, I just watched it, but I should have repeated it in the console. So whenever there is a practical demonstration in the video, or a lab, first repeat after the teacher, then close the video, and do it again on your own. Because cloud engineer is a very hands-on role. You will have to work with the cloud a lot, so make sure you learn how to do it. And practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
Next thing what I did right, and what I really recommend you do, is get certified. If you have completed the video course, not only for starting to work with the cloud, but also for your certification exam. Get certified. Certification is a very powerful tool, not only for self-confidence, but also to show everyone around that you know cloud, and you know it well. While certification is not a guarantee that you will get a job, it is a very powerful ally. And if there are two similar candidates, but one of them is certified, guess who will get the job? And remember, we were talking about which certification course is the best for beginners, foundational or associate. Being a certified architect associate is worth much more on the job market than being a cloud practitioner. So I really suggest you to get certified right after the course, even before you start looking for your first job. Trust me, it will benefit you. Next thing, what I would do a bit differently, and you should do too, is start doing infrastructure as a code as early as possible.
IAC means infrastructure as a cat.
My mistake was that in the beginning I ignored it for quite a lot of time. To work with the cloud efficiently, you need to do almost all of your infrastructure as a code. So as soon as you feel comfortable enough with the console, switch to infrastructure as a code. Do even simple tasks using it. If you have already created a virtual machine a couple of times, next time you do it in code. Another tip I wish someone gave me in the beginning is do not go with proprietary infrastructure as a code tools, which is CloudFormation for AWS or Resource Manager for Azure. I suggest you go with Terraform. Terraform is a universal infrastructure as a code tool. It can be used for AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, anything. So if you learn it and you have to change cloud provider in the future, then you don't have to learn a new tool. Of course, syntax will be a bit different, but you will keep the core concept of Terraform. I have started with CloudFormation, which is a great tool, but it is AWS specific and it is quite bulky. A template describing architecture for a medium-sized infrastructure can take up to 10,000 lines. Much better tool for that, if we are talking AWS, is Cloud Development Kit, CDK, which is a wrapper for CloudFormation, and it is available in many conventional programming languages, like TypeScript, Java, Python, C# or Go. It is way more convenient, and it can help you shorten your IAC templates up to 10 times. I really wish someone told me to start to use it earlier in my career. You have the luxury of me telling you now. Use it wisely.
Use the fork.
The force?
The forks.
Another thing I wish I did earlier, preferably in the very beginning, is start using Python.
You snake.
Python is a very easy to learn programming language, which is very useful in the cloud. Not only for CDK, I use TypeScript for that by the way, but mostly for writing lambdas, which are small and serverless programs or functions. Azure equivalent is called Azure Functions. While working with the cloud, you will have to write quite a lot of them. So learn Python. By the way, if you already know some other programming language, like TypeScript or Java, you don't have to learn Python. You most probably can use the language you already know to write lambda functions. But you have to know at least one programming language. And Bash for scripting in Linux. Again, you don't have to be an expert. But you have to know how to write things like if statements, for loops, how to use variables, and so on. Next, my suggestion before you start looking for a cloud job, if you don't have one, is build some cloud projects. Because your cloud resume is more or less empty now. You know the cloud, you are certified, but you cannot prove that you have enough experience. So build some cloud projects. Google have plenty of them. Build a simple website. Install an Nginx web server on its virtual machine. Connect it to a database. Put it behind the load balancer. Add an internet gateway, an elastic IP, and voila, you have your own website in the cloud.
Voila.
And you built it yourself. Go deeper. Make it highly available. Put several virtual machines in an autoscaling group. Spread it between availability zones. Make your database highly available. And your project will shine on a different level.
Nice.
Go even deeper. Containerize your website. Re-architect it so it can work with Docker. Create several Docker container instances. Configure application autoscaling so it can scale out and scale in on its own. AWS website has free resources online where you can find several ideas for your projects. It doesn't only have examples for you, which show you what you could do, but also has step-by-step instructions how you do it. For example, you could build a basic web application using serverless technologies such as AWS Amplify, API Gateway, Lambda, and DynamoDB. Follow a very clear instructions, and in about 35 minutes, you will have your own web app that you can add to your resume. There is also a very interesting and free online resource called Cloud Resume Challenge, which can be used for GCP, AWS, or Azure. You will have to complete numerous tasks of increased complexity. Build a website, configure SSL, DNS, database, API, CI/CD, and much more. That's a quite big, sophisticated, and close to real-life project that you can build and later add to your resume or talk about it on the interview. After you have done all of this, it is time for you to look for your first cloud job. And the best place for that, where I have found all of my cloud jobs, is LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn and look for a cloud job that suits your situation. If you have no previous cloud experience, look for junior cloud engineer jobs. If you have already been a junior cloud engineer for some time, look for a middle cloud engineer position. Build your resume, write a cover letter, apply, go to the interview, and if you have done everything that I have suggested, sooner than later, you will succeed. By the way, I have a specifically dedicated video how to get your first cloud job. I will link it in the description. And last but not the least, be confident, be brave, believe in yourself.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Believe that you will make it. And you will. And when you start working in the cloud, and do that for some times, don't get stuck. Be ambitious. If you feel that you have reached your limits in your current position, then go to your manager. Tell him or her that you want more. And if the manager cannot provide you with better challenges, find another job. From my personal experience, when you change jobs, you not only significantly raise your salary, but also get a huge boost in your cloud knowledge. When being a junior cloud engineer, I understood that in my current work, I hit my limit, I found another job, and jumped right into the middle of a very sophisticated migration project. When a company did total migration from on-prem to AWS Cloud, and within less than 2 years, I grew from junior cloud engineer to a senior one. So don't be afraid, be ambitious, find the right opportunity, take it, and you will succeed. I hope this video was useful for you. Please give it a like if it was.
Like.
And I will be more than happy if you subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, it is time to return DeLorean to my friend. Now it is time for me to go back to the cloud. Remember everything I taught you and become a cloud engineer.
Okay. Why didn't he tell me to buy Amazon stocks instead? I would be rich by the end of this video.
Thanks for watching. Good luck to all of us. And may the cloud be with you. Always.